International papers. Olivia Salazar-Winspear is back in the studio for that. Hi there, Olivia.
Hello.
We're going to be starting off in South Africa. We've seen Oscar Pistorius now in court to face charges that he shot dead his girlfriend.
Yes, this is a story that's obviously dominating the national press on front of all of the South African papers, but also the international press as well, because this is an athlete that really, caught our imagination last year in the Olympics. So he's very well known. He made a huge impact worldwide. The South Africa Times, their front page is taken up with the story. They're headlining on that, and an article inside the paper profiles someone who they call a complicated hero. They refer to this golden boy narrative that everyone was enchanted by last year. And like I said, the poster boy for somebody who overcame adversity. And they really show us the other side of that. They go as far as to say that he was sometimes thuggish and out of control drunk, that he slept with a pistol by his bed, with a machine gun in the bedroom. And these things were glossed over in our eagerness to celebrate this athlete. And it's a similar story from the UK Telegraph, who also do a profile of the athlete, painting a very dark picture of a man who they say had a very short fuse. They cite an example where he lashed out at another competitor in an Olympic event last year when he lost a race. And it ends very sadly with this sentence saying that for all his achievements on the track, he'll forever be remembered as the athlete whose girlfriend was found dead at his house, which would be a very sad legacy. The Guardian have an article contextualising this crime, looking at gun violence in South Africa, fear and self-arming in South Africa, flagging up the very high level of private gun ownership in the country, saying that for every 100 people, 12 citizens have a gun at home. And despite government initiatives to control gun use and lower domestic shootings, there are still, in 2009, 3 women were shot every day by their partners or by someone they knew in South Africa. And what's interesting in this article is they talk about this climate of fear, for example, Johannesburg being regularly cited as one of the 5 most dangerous cities in the world, but the actual statistics don't prove that. They say that violent crime, murder, for example, is actually going down in South Africa, so it's perhaps not so justified.
OK, that paranoia obviously is still there for plenty of people. Next up, the food scandal that obviously will not go away. It's the horsemeat story, and it now has its own nickname.
Horsegate, of course, as we covered in the French press this morning. It's making the international news as well. The International Herald Tribune is covering this on the front page. Now, they're looking at the drug that was found in horse carcasses. It's called phenylbutazone, or bute. It's an anti-inflammatory that was found in horse meat and caused panic, because this is a drug that can, if ingested in sufficient quantities, be potentially fatal to humans. Now, they're quick to reassure everyone that it wasn't found in many horse carcasses, and when it was found, it was a tiny, tiny trace percentage, so it's not actually dangerous. But they're really flagging up this problem that the horse meat industry, which is very small when you compare it to other meat industries, or the agroalimentary,
in the UK, people hardly eat horse at all.
It basically doesn't exist. Therefore, when it happens, it's not controlled, it's normally illegal, and it's cloaked in ambiguity. The Independent has a similar editorial on that, flagging up this very culturally sensitive point that in the UK we don't eat horse. We could be eating thoroughbred racehorses due to this very murky industry that, again, has no controls and could see people selling off surplus racehorses who are bred for competition as a cheap and convenient way of getting rid of them.
Very emotive story for sure. Finally then, staying with animals, more traditional food, fish, testing positive for drugs, apparently.
Yes, a new Swedish study has been done that says fish are ingesting everything that we, as humans, ingest ourselves in terms of psychiatric drugs. They've been found to have traces of oxazepam, which is an anti-anxiety drug, which makes them less social, more active, and it makes them eat more, which sounds good, but it does actually upset the ecosystem, which is bad news for nature.
Oh dear. Well, animals not doing very well in today's news at all. Thanks very much, Olivia Salazar-Winspear, with the international papers there. Well, stay tuned, because in a moment we're going to be giving you the day's business